Hello everyone, Merry Christmas, and here's my big gift to you all. It's finally time for me to address the 20th installment of the Pokemon films Pokemon Movie I Just You. It's been a long time coming for this movie. I've been eager to talk about it ever since I saw the first trailer last year, so let's open this up and get started. The film opens with a new take on the battle Ash watched on TV, which takes place between Koi and Nisha for the first movie. I guess Fergus wasn't around. Right off the bat, the animation is absolutely amazing, smooth as handled by some people's origins and the XY series. Even those who didn't care the movie at least gave it that much credit. After that, the film uses titular like Jizu episode as sort of prologue to the point where Takeshi Shudo was in credits one of the latest script. Note, there are some differences, but to be honest, I'm glad I can enjoy the new film mixing tons of members into my popcorn. Ash only breaks an alarm clock in his sleep once Pro slap a tripping with some cartoon sound effects to reach it gets for his Pokemon. He asks the Professor for Squirtle, which I've been taken. Oh hi Gary. Still, the joke of the Rose Mutual Strikes Back, made up by his agent making too many demands for him to be in the movie, is not stretch for his character. His second choice of Bulbasaur, which also been claimed. Oh hi Marina. I don't know what to make of this one cameo as opposed to the others in this movie. It's still better than Legend of Thunder. He then asks for Charmander, and as Oak tells Ash that being stuck in a training Pokemon can be life changing, we get a brief cameo from a recolored TM from the XY series. So, right off, this movie is rife with mythology gags to the franchise as a whole. It's much more of one of the 20th anniversary just glorifying one fragment of the series lineage than making inaccurate claims that things have been erased or rewritten because it doesn't include anything about one fragment. We'll talk more as I continue my look at this movie. So, Pikachu is Ash's partner, but Pikachu's too happy about it and zaps Ash. His mother Delia comes in his outfit and his bag so he can officially set off on his journey. I rather like the costume design and given for this movie, and I make it so cosplaying with next time we have to find like a pose for it. I want that new hat. He tries to get Pikachu inside his Pokeball, but he doesn't want to go inside. Some things never change, huh? Interestingly, he still uses his closeness and makes a leash even though he doesn't use rubber gloves. He also does still tell Pikachu that he likes me, but the feelings are mutual. Ash tries to catch a Pidgey, unsuccessfully, and then things get to get crazy when he goes Rocket Spear by mistake. This version Spearow not only attacks Pikachu for life against misfortune, but also no bike to steal, so Ash just has to run. Thunderbolt and the Rainstorm is as impressive as ever, and the story especially really kicks off when Hello flies overhead, dropping a rainbow wing into Ash's hands. It's not quite a driving force, but it's an inspiration of him and the other cast members. After that, we get a great remix of the Pokemon theme, which sets the stage for a montage of Ash on his journey, which has like Hot Caterpie's while a somewhat amusing scene where they're playing in the river. Pikachu knocks off his hat. Seriously, I think I've got a new ringtone I can find it somewhere. The first act of Ash and Pikachu's excellent adventure officially begins in Celadon City, where Ash's gym battle with Erica is the third one as he goes through, rather than the fifth. I guess he did what I had to do in the games, bypass the blockade in Saffron City by taking a shortcut to Lavender Town. Ash wins a Rainbow Badge from Erica, who in addition to being more accurate to design in the games, also seems much nicer than someone who would force Ash to cross-dress just to get in the door. That may not have been my favorite gym battle from those days, but it was delightfully silly. Ash calls his mother at the Pokemon Center. He appears to be using some form of software like Skype or FaceTime to do it. There are many modern flourishes in the movie, such as smartphones and flat panel monitors, but a lot of the touches still recognizably 90s. Kind of like how the new Star Trek movies have much more money behind them, but still have the female crew members wear miniskirts and go-go boots. More recently, Stormtroopers in these new Star Wars movies have sleeker designs, but still recognizable the helmets have a permanent scowl on their faces. Anyway, Dia may be a bit disappointed that her son hasn't called that much, but she is glad she's alright. There's Pokemon are healed, Ash catches wind of an Entei in the area and heads up to try and catch it. He meets young here in 20th Town, Verity, who has a pet voiced by a good friend, Michelle Knotts. Just more on her later, but I'll keep in mind that I might not say what I think I will. The two have a battle, which Ash easily wins, but Entei proves to be more than they can handle. It's an idea how the Beast is Pokemon Go. Non-legendary Pokemon are usually powerful, but wow, dude. This leads to a chase in the canyon with a bunch of rampaging Onyx, which is really crazy but also a pretty enjoyable action set piece. Not quite as dangerous as Rathalos or Force Awakens, but a close second in my eyes. They're able to quad the Pokemon, but the young named Sorrowful, they also say warns them it's going to rain soon. He also partners with Lucario, which I'm pleased to tell you since Lucario's a favorite Pokemon. We enter the second act as the rain starts, which I shall call of Charmander and Butterfree. Ash and Barry are trying to get out of the rain when Ash spots Charmander sitting on a rock. After that, we enter this movie's rival and antagonist, Cross. He is this film's answer to Gary and Damien, but in many ways he gets close to Paul in some extent over how nasty he can be. If anything, he's closest I can see from the main series version of Silver, both in looks and personality. I mean, think about it. Red hair, really nice black boots, and a abrasive persona towards people in Pokemon alike, as shown when he kicks Charmander and has Midnight Lightning Rock attack Ash before insulting them both. Not cool. Many people listen just to Cross an anti-villain, but I disagree. Get into more details I continue, but personally, he's as much as an anti-villain as Denethor, which is not at all. Billy Bob Thompson seems to have a thing for voicing antagonists in this anime. Ash and Barry are able to find Saul in a cave, and they set about treating Charmander while they wait out the storm. Let's get a little taste of the other smooth version episode Snow Way Out, which I'm not doing right now, but it's a sweet gesture nonetheless. Seeing the Pokemon bond with their trainers to stay warm through the night. At the half-hour mark, Entei and a bunch of other Pokemon join them, and Saul tells of the legend of Belltar from Generation 2. He mentioned that fire claimed the lives of 3 Pokemon, but Ho restored them into the legendary beasts. Ashton pulls a rainbow wing from his pocket, and I'm quite pleased to see that it's actually rainbow colored in this movie rather than just red, white, and green like it usually is. Saul continues on, telling the legend as a rainbow hero, bringing eternal happiness when they find Ho-Oh. Not the most unique idea for a story, but it works, and it fits the world that this shown games have built over 20 years. The simple way of Shoujo Yone would not only help me relive some of my favorite experiences, but also appeal to new fans. And the sun rises over a new day, and Charmander joins Ash's roster. Some people have mixed feelings about this. I actually liked how the movie handled Charmander. As for the other Pokemon, it's not shown, but I'm going to presume the other members in this roster are still around, even if not the way you would expect. So, Verity and Saul decided to join Ash's quest to find Ho-Oh, and despite what some movies or actors have said, they just seem like nice kids. Joining Mount Tenzing and the Horizon Mountains needs a battle with a pincer, and there's a Metapod that actually falls under different circumstances than I remember. That's totally fine with me, since doing an open adaptation with a fresh coat of paint would have been kind of boring. Sometimes I like when I finish different versions. The Batman analogy still fits quite well. One version can have him fighting in bright pastel colors, another can have him fighting Russian gangsters in a dingy warehouse. Also, Verity apparently has mommy issues, possibly with Cynthia. She also sees Suicune appear before her by a lake. I must say, the music in this movie is very nice. The slow theme in this scene reminds me of The Lonely Man from the Old Incredible Hulk show. Overall, I like the tone in this movie, especially in this bit where Ash Charmander was Charmander after battling. It's also more willing to obey Ash than was in the original show, which I think is a nice touch. Not different from my headcanon either. Ash speaks with his mother over the phone, and she's glad that he's doing alright. She's also pleased to meet Barry and Sorrel, and we get more on the legend of a book written by a man named Bonji. I was wondering how he and Cross were named in English, but I'm glad they kept their Japanese names. Speaking of which, Ash and Charmander have a battle across and his Incineroar, but they're totally outmatched. This Incineroar launching a flame with his torso like it does in the games. Charmander gets totally red when he's knocked through some concrete barriers. Oh my god, the quarterback is toast. The battle, Barry and Saul try to console Ash about what happened, but he'll have none of it. He also has to tell Pedro he wants to go to Bulbasaur. Wow. I know the movie's going to be more intense than the show itself, but that's dark. Ashton runs off in the forest and he falls asleep beside a tree. The rainbow wings is his luster. I forgot to mention, when the rainbow wing is how those Emperor Hearts lose its color. That will come up again later in case you're wondering. And then get a dream sequence of what the world would be like if Ash never gone on his journey. Namely, he and everything else in the world is totally ordinary and just regular people studying at Professor Oak. It's not even the Pokemon Charity and Lola either, it's just another school, and life seems quite miserable. As Ash wonders what's beyond the town, he sees the image of Pikachu in the sky and realizes what Soul is trying to tell him. It's acting no different than Cross, he apologizes to everyone how he's behaving, especially Pikachu. Everyone then gathers around a campfire and then realizes how much the movie reminds me of the original movies when I was younger, as well as the 1960s Transformers movie and the first two Ninja Turtles movies from the 90s. However, the concept's melody is certainly ludicrous. The film does a really good job of putting a darker spin on it. The battles are more intense, storytelling is more serious than the main TV anime. It doesn't let you forget the main character is just hanging with kids doing something that's quite adult for their age. Case in point, Sorrel tells when he was younger and he had looks like that Frozen trying to keep him warm in the blizzard. While there have been Pokemon that have sacrificed themselves before, Says Latios in the 5th movie and the Kyrie in the 8th movie. This is one of the few cases where I've seen Pokemon die natural causes, yet there being the other Stoutland earlier this year. I mean, like, after that, everyone was attacked by a group of primate, but able to escape with the help of Ash's Metapod following the Butterfree. Reminds me of when I was younger and this time they didn't take Ash's hat. Still, it's really fun action scene. It reminds me of them playing a game of Donkey Kong Country. Also, Team Rocket is mostly playing a supporting role in this movie, although they at least have more screen time than Pokemon Heroes. After crossing the river on the back of Verity's Lapras, Ash Butterfree rescues a pink Butterfree from Firo, who now has little accents on its wings, like in the game show it's female. The movie follows Butterfree's arc relatively closely in the TV episode by Butterfree, complete with an emotional sin doctor so he can have children. As well, the whole Butterfree dies after its mates thing in Japanese version, it's not true. I have been watching the uncut subtitled episodes whenever I can find them, and all it said was he couldn't have offspring if it didn't cross the ocean. Glad I could help clear this up. Also, I like the appearance from Raikou, and it's much better use of him than just one seeing the entire Legend of Thunder. Now, we arrive at the final act, and by proxy, Mount Tensei. I come across Spongy, who wrote the book Saw was reading earlier in the movie, and is voiced by my good friend Mike Pollock. I do like the eccentric but wise mentor quite a bit as a character type. This offers a nice touch, since it's actually based on some old promotional artwork for the series, seen early merchandise as a trading card game. It helps guide everyone through the rest of the way towards Mount Tensei, also warns about Mars Shadow, about the mischievous mythical Pokemon following everyone since the movie started. I rather like Mars Shadow. This fighting ghost type has a lot of great trick special moves. Many people claim Mars Shadow is a villain of the movie, but I don't see it. Mars Shadow is just doing what it does out of circumstances, unlike Cross. Everyone climbs up the mountain, Ash checks his shadow for its presence. Before we go any further, Ash just had one question. What are those? Everyone reaches the summit, and Ash is confronted in a final battle by Cross. Ash is charmingly gets Cross in the center as the Mars Shadow looks on. Given the contrast between Ash and Cross's characters, reminds me of what Mr. Glass in my favorite Shyamalan film, Unbreakable. A Mars Shadow is a neutral entity, Cross is polar opposite of Ash in every way. While Ash is idealistic, and willing to do anything to help those close to him, Cross is much more cynical and sees strength as his lone valuable asset. Charmeleon then evolves to Charizard. This is joined the list of my favorite versions of this Pokemon. Some people didn't enjoy how the movie handled Charizard. I disagree. I found this movie's retelling of Charizard's story to be excellent. Furthering this is Cross claiming incorrectly that even when weak Pokemon evolve, they're still weak. He sounds like someone I used to know. On that note, while the show took Charizard quite some time to start listening to Ash, he had that perfectly in sync. If anything, I dare say that's even more powerful than it was before. Ash and Charizard win the battle, but Cross takes Rainbow away and tries to claim her himself, turning further in the sky black as his heart. While Charizard mostly does stuff in the movie out of circumstance, I smell Cross has no redeeming qualities at all, and threatening to crush her rather than one of his mistakes. Outraged, Charizard takes control of all the Pokemon area. The sky goes dark, and the final battle takes place small and volley powerful attacks. The animation is really impressive here, full of some fluid movements, dramatic lighting, some of the best use of color seen in any of the movies. This is all enjoying my list of favorite reimagined series ever. Ash, being one new shot not pass from his best Gandalf impression, ends up getting caught in the wake of Murshell's soul-stealing 7-star strike along Pikachu. Now comes the part everyone is inevitably going to ask about, Pikachu speaking to Ash like a person after taking all these attacks. While many thought it was a dream, others thought it was Ash's point of view, I am taking a third option. The power of the world around them and their bond together is actually letting them say what they truly want to each other. It's also not as ridiculous as I suggest. I once said that Ash would take something like that with Pikachu before, and it turns out I was right. So, Ash finally gets Pikachu in his Pokeball as he's disintegrated by the Pokemon attacks. Pikachu tearfully holding Ash's hat as he unleashes a 10 million volt Thunderbolt. Never would have expected they would have found such a dramatic way to work in that tie-in, or to retcon Renegade's benefits from the beginning. Ash, through the goodwill of his actions and his bond with Pikachu, is stored alone, the Rainbow Wing, and granted eternal happiness as a Rainbow Hero. Based on my own fan theories and what Yama said in interviews, I guess I can officially say this, he's a Time Lord. I've often tried to find recurring themes throughout the series, especially in the movies. Given the presence of Pokemon Element Generation 4, it reminds me of that one When one life meets another, something new is born. So we close on Ash and Pikachu vowing to continue the journey, and the other characters vowing to meet again, even cross. We'll see. TTFN, you overly dramatic edgelord. Let's get the word Pokemon segment at the end this time. It's a very nice range of Pokemon theme played on piano by the original composers, no less. As for the cameos from Rocket missing the other companions, again, it's no different to me than Nick Fury showing up at Tony Stark's house or Ray finding Luke Skywalker on a distant planet. Overall, I can say this is my new favorite Pokemon movie. It's been a long time over these last 20 odd years I've been in the series, but I've been waiting a whole year to do this movie and I'm glad I finally got a chance to look at it. Even considering all the hubbub online, do you really think I would have spent so much time looking at other movies opposed to series if I did not have the slightest iota of enthusiasm for it? I mean, in this day and age, I'm glad to have been a part of this fandom. Even if we come from different places, different eras, different ways of getting in the series, I am very happy to be able to do this for one simple reason. When I was very young, it was the first thing that made me feel like I belonged to something. Much like a young man from Japan who parlays his experiences in one of the biggest Nintendo series ever, I've managed to use my own experiences during my look at this movie. So, when I tell the tracks of the series that not like it is something personal, then no, I mean it. That's why I consider this film to be an ideal way to start this wonderful series, warts and all. As a milestone of 20 years, it pays homage to everything that's come before it, and gives new perspective on my favorite stories from the series. As a movie on its own, it has great animation, glorious sound story that's simple but effective way of retaining the appeal of the series as far as special source material than any Uber for when the Dantes were one of this movie. At the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. My final rating is 4 out of 4. I realized ahead of the series. Hope I enjoy as much as this. I want to continue my work here as long as I feel like it. Thank you for your support over the years. Later.